What's up, everybody, and welcome to the MNSpiritCast.
Could you tell us your name?
Automatically tell that you were pumped for this
little card that we send, that's just like a little tidbit. That's like a little bit.
It's changing their heart because we have it. I'm not thinking whatever it is.
was in this area and walked in.
Guys, what was the image to that song?
Kind of a, I don't know, I was down here.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the MNSpiritCast. We have an amazing panel and an amazing guest tonight. Let's go around and introduce each other. I'm Marcus. I am the founder of Minnesota Spirit Hunters. I'm the host of MNSpiritCast. And we'll go this way, or this way.
I'm Mike. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Well, who's next? I'm Mike.
And what
Okay.
do you do? What do you do on the team?
Well, right now, I haven't done anything, but I'm the
Technician. You are.
There we go. Yes.
Yes, sir. Brandon. Hi.
I am Brandon. I am a lead technician. I am co-host. So I am here every week with Marcus.
Ooh, lucky you. And our awesome and lovely sponsor from DEEZGHOST.com. How's it going, man?
I'm good. I'm Jesse. I'm with DEEZGHOST. I'm the host with the ghost.
Yes.
No, I just tinker with everything. I'm just the tinker guy.
You're the host with the ghosts and these nuts for these ghosts.
Pretty much.
And who is that awesome lady above Jesse there?
I'm T. I'm one of the mediums.
And who is that just okay woman beside T?
Just okay, thanks. Feel the love. I'm Kara, assistant manager.
All right. Well, it is good to see everybody. We do appreciate your patience as this show was supposed to be on yesterday, but we're back here tonight on a Wednesday, which is what we're all used to, Wednesday night. And we're going to have a great show tonight. Jesse, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about DEEZGHOST, a little bit about some of the equipment that you have, and just all around why you got into the paranormal field. So, first of all, it's been a really long time since our audience has seen you. So for all the new people, why don't you tell us a little bit about DEEZGHOST?
Man, so originally, I mean, I've been investigating for about 8 or 9 years, and really, DEEZGHOST was never like, in the beginning, it wasn't like a real thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really what happened was, my wife had bought me a Steve Huff box, a Wonder box.
Yeah.
And I said, God damn, I said, how much did you spend on that damn thing? She said it was $1,800.
Whoa.
I'm like, more. I was like, oh my God. Like,
wow.
And as I started buying other equipment, at the time, the big company was like Ghost Stop, you know, but everything was like crazy overpriced. The next thing I know, I've got thousands of dollars of equipment, and I feel like I don't have $1,000s worth of equipment. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So then I just like, and I don't know, I didn't know anything about engineering, anything or electronics or nothing. And I literally just started buying boards and units and just started tinkering and realized what really goes in these devices is not, what you think you're paying for, So basically, I mean, at the end of the day, I was just making equipment for me and the team that I was on at the time.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, like, people are like, man, you need a website, dude. Like, and because at that time, everybody was PayPaling me and they're like, hey, build this for me. And then the next thing you know, I'm busy. So, probably for the past since early 2000, maybe late 2019. Actually, before that, it was like 2018 when it started. But it's been a journey. It's been different. I've realized how different this field is. And you know what I mean? And there's a lot of competition as far as even on the team aspect, And I didn't know it was like that, but at the beginning, and then even on, making the equipment on that side of it, because what I've noticed, there's a lot there. I mean, so don't judge me for saying this, but there's a lot of copycats out there in the field. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I've always tried to do kind of my own thing. And I build equipment and make equipment based on like what I would want as an investigator, because I never really paid attention to what like the hottest thing out was or what everybody else was using. I've got my own, and I think that's kind of what encouraged me to keep this business thing going with it, because theoretically I don't really make too much money doing this. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's mainly just a hobby that I do, and I just enjoy it, really.
Absolutely.
So I mean, but as far as that, like, I've really learned a lot, doing this stuff. And there's some stuff I don't mess with because I don't, everybody's like, can you make me an Ovilus? I'm like, that's not really something I'm really working on right now,
Right.
Because there's a lot of research in those kind of devices that you gotta, and everything that I build, I actually test. If I don't think it's something that I think is beneficial in the field, then it doesn't go on the site. But I've noticed here recently in the past 2 years, we've definitely picked up some steam, and I've actually I do a lot of business with the ghosthunterstore.com.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with those guys.
Yeah.
Heard of them.
You've heard of them?
Heard of them, yep.
Yeah, those guys, the ghosthunterstore.com is the original ghost hunting company that originally came on the market like before Ghost Stop and all that.
Yeah.
So what I like about that company, and the ghosthunterstore.com is like an all-in-one company. And that's kind of what I like, is because they use builders from all over the United States. You know what I mean? That build this equipment. So it's that place where you can go and, like, let's say you want, like this is my music box, digital music box. So you could go on there and get a DEEZGHOST product, but then also, maybe go on there and get like a Paratronics or, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So but that guy has kept me busy for real. Like, hands down, that guy for real has got me I'm probably about 20 orders backed up on just his orders right now.
Oh, wow.
That's not even including the orders people are ordering from me on my side.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I mean, no, it's turned out really well. And like I said, I do it for fun, but I think I might have to hire somebody soon.
Right. Now,
to help build it.
So when you're building all of this equipment, what goes into building just one piece of equipment?
I mean, dude, there's a lot. I mean, between the chipboard and, you got things like toggle switches, the wiring, the soldering, and and to be honest, like, soldering is not the hardest part, but the labor piece on it is probably the hardest part and the most expensive part. Yeah. because not every piece of equipment is going to go as smoothly as the last piece did, you know? So that's the biggest thing that I think people don't think about when they're buying equipment from companies like me versus like, and I hate to put them out there, but like Ghost Stop, that stuff's like manufactured in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's already done by the time it hits their shelves. Like, so when people are ordering from me, it's like, just know that your product is hand built, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not made by machines. You know what I mean? It's handmade. So it does take time, and there's a lot of labor put into it, and thought and planning, and, you know, a lot of diagrams and everything.
Is it ever stressful making this much equipment, especially when you have a ton of orders?
Dude, no, I mean, as far as like making the equipment, I really enjoy it. But I would say, like, you know, because I tell a lot of people, you know, hey, it's handmade. Some of the boxes are 3D printed, you know, so if you're looking for like a fancy looking product, this is probably not your product, right? Which I'm not saying my product doesn't look all fancy. It's not as fancy as, you know what I mean? Something that's manufactured and machined, but, you know, just know, like, that's why I tell them it's handmade, it's custom built per order. So it can get stressful because some customers just, they don't understand that part of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They just expect to order it and then bam, it's in the mail and it's there. But with me, that's not how it is. It can take, you know, 10 days or 14 days to build it and test it, because I don't have to do it, but I do it. I test every piece of equipment that goes out because I want to make sure.
You want to have a guarantee it works.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I want is to send something out to one of you guys that have ordered something, and then you get it and it doesn't work. And then you got to ship it back and then wait for it to get repaired and go back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But with that, like, that's another reason why I've also like offered like an insurance. So if you order like one of my products on my site, you can, I think it's like $35, but you get a 6-month policy.
Yeah.
So basically, if something breaks on it, doesn't matter how or why, I don't really care. You know what I mean? You get a one-time use. You send me a video of it broke or whatever, and either send it back and I can repair it, or I would just make you a new one.
So if you go to DEEZGHOST.com and you go under products, you're going to see a product labeled insurance and 6-month policy. It is a $35 policy, and this is a one-time fee, right?
Yeah, and I've had people use it and they renew it. Like, they'll just, you know what I mean, message me and be like, hey, I'd like to extend it out. Because it does happen. Like, I mean, let's get real. We're walking in the dark. So like we're bound to drop something or walk into something, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, and as I know of right now, I'm the only company that offers that with my products.
Yeah.
But you know, that was when you ask for the stressful part and stuff. The stressful part has its pros and cons, you know?
Yeah.
And I think one of the pros with it was like, hey, maybe I should offer an insurance to give the customer more, kind of give you a better feeling about the product, you know, and you know, at least buying it, you have the option to purchase something that doesn't matter how it breaks or what happens. You can just, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You just send it in and get a new one sent back.
Exactly. So, and actually this insurance would be a good thing because, like, let's say that we had one of the orbs laying down and we had it either on the ground or on the floor or something, and one of us steps on it. It's broken.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean,
now, does this insurance policy cover all of the DEEZGHOST equipment, or is it certain items?
For the most part, it'll cover almost everything. I mean, within like reason, like, I mean, there's really nothing on there that I wouldn't cover it under. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But I mean, like, even with that, like, I give people 3 months on the product, you know, for functionability. You know what I mean? That it'll function the same way. Now, if you drop it, or I can see there's been damage to it. I mean, I'm not going to repair something that's been damaged. You know what I mean?
Yep,
But that's where
exactly.
the insurance part comes in. Just because, you just never know. You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And so what we want to do tonight is kind of cover some of our favorite pieces of DEEZGHOST equipment. Cara and Brandon, you guys actually have gotten the DEEZGHOST experience with some of the equipment. Now, do you guys have any of the equipment on you right now?
All of it.
Wow. Prepared.
That's awesome.
All right. So first of all, I have a list of some of my favorite pieces, but Cara and Brandon, we play with the lurker box a lot. Now, you guys have the lurker box on you? There it is. Now, Jesse, this is a newer piece of equipment and that you recently started making. Now, what was the inspiration? And I think we all know who pitched this idea.
Yeah, so the guy that had pitched the idea, it originally wasn't 100% that, but it gave me the idea because like when we're investigating, if you can have multiple things, multiple uses out of a box, to me as a consumer, like taking my company out of it and looking at if I'm going to buy something and I can get more than one style of use out of it, I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier when you can walk around with something that's got a REM pod on it and a temperature gauge. So that way you can look and say, oh, the REM pod just went off. Oh, but the temperature just adjusted at the same time. It can help you kind of debunk things and make things a little bit smoother for your investigation to plan out.
And we just released a episode, our season 2 premiere, and we were at Greenwood Cemetery in Wisconsin, and we used the lurker box, and we used all kinds of DEEZGHOST equipment. Now, we had this lurker box sitting down in one area that Brandon and I were in, and there was a grave turned over. And if you go back and watch the episode, you'll see what we're talking about. But we sit this lurker box down, and I kid you not, and Brandon, you can back me up here. We set it down, and there's almost a 10-degree drop on the temperature gauge within a span of, 5 minutes?
Not even. I'd say
not even
2 minutes, maybe.
And the wind wasn't blowing very hard. We were outside, but the wind wasn't blowing very hard, and we got the REM pod on the lurker box to go off a lot because every time we asked it to go off, it wouldn't go off. It wouldn't do anything. Every time second
that you'd stop paying attention,
it would go off. Like say we were going to walk away. Every single time we would turn our back to go walk away, it would go off. Brandon happened to have the camera on the lurker box at a certain time. He caught it. Right when I turned my back, this box goes off. So, like we say in a lot of episodes and on a lot of podcasts, spirits are manipulative. And there's multiple things that they can do with this box. And it's very, experimental for not only ghost hunters, but also for the paranormal as well. There's lots of things that it can do on it. And like you said, you get your money's worth out of it because there's not just one thing that you can get a good use out of.
Well, and I've noticed with a lot of the temperature gauge devices that you see, a lot of the actual probe is put inside the device. And if you notice on that one, the probe protrudes outside of the box as well. So, and the goal of that is because, theoretically inside of it, you do have electrical components. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say they're going to provide a lot of heat, but it's a lot harder for you to see a temperature change when that probe is in there. But when it's set to.
Whoa.
What just happened?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But when it's to the outside of the box, and that's exactly why I put it there, because you were saying how you see up to a 10-degree difference.
Yep.
And that was coming up to the box. That was the change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we set it down, and me and Marcus were literally able to see it like drop degree, a degree at like, I don't know, what was it, like every like half a minute.
Yeah.
Yep. I literally kid you not. You guys could go back and watch the episode. Literally, we set this box down. It instantly starts fluctuating between, what was it, 40 and 39 degrees. And by the time it started at what, 42, and it was going between 42 and 40 or whatever. And then, within a span of like 2.5 to 3 minutes, it's down to like 30 something. So it's crazy how it works, but it's very
well, it finally stopped dropping at like 28.
Yep. I don't know. It's definitely a good thing to use during an investigation. We are para freaks tonight.
See, that's what I like about the equipment. Because like they say, when you're trying to prove the existence of, it's good to have multiple different ways to, multiple different things going off at the same time. So if you have 3 things in one box, kind of helps.
Yep.
Well, and that's like the Ghost Arc 2.0. The big thing I like about that, the Ghost Arc by itself works awesome. Because it's a different style of field that it's pushing out. You know what I mean? I mean, you're literally putting out almost like a radiation electric field around you. And
you have that right now, Brandon, right?
No.
This one, go with little copper antennas.
Yep.
That's the EM pump.
Yeah, so it's got the EM pump on it, and it's got the Ghost Arc with the copper antennas. And basically, so the EM pump is going to put off an EMF field. And so the EMF detector will only pick that device up, that part of the device up. But if you want to catch something off of the actual Ghost Arc, the copper antennas that come up, you have to actually use a radiation detector for it to pick that up and show you. So it is 2 different types of fields. And when I tested that, it was crazy the responses I got, whether it was a spirit box or I put some of the orbs out, because I really feel like the 2 different types of energy that it was putting out, it kind of gives, it's just more options. You know what I mean? Because theoretically, we don't really know what's out there. All we know is it is an energy, and that energy sometimes needs more energy to do what it needs to do.
Yep, exactly.
And, so the people that have actually used that have probably had incidences where things have happened, and I can honestly say that I'm not sure certain things wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Like would have happened without it.
One thing I can say from experience, when we've been using it, it actually saves a lot of our batteries in our cameras.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Like a known place to drain your battery for your phone, drain your batteries for your flashlight, stuff like that. We'll bring that with and burst it off a couple times, and then we don't get our batteries drained as often.
Because you're charging the area, so anything that does want to use that energy, it's there for it. You know what I mean?
I can add on to that like if you're not getting any activity whatsoever and you figure you just flip this on quick, what we've been doing is turning it on in intervals of 10 seconds, turning it off, and then turning it back on for another 10 seconds. It kind of sparks the activity a little bit.
It does. And you'll know on there, I do recommend to do it in 5 to 10 second intervals. Just because that's what I found works. Now you can use it any way you want, but that's probably the only device I think that I do not offer insurance on, because it is an electric device like that can.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And the warning.
Yeah.
I laughed when I ordered it.
Hey, I promise you, when I started building those, you have no many times I've shocked the crap out of myself.
I wrote
doing
that
those
down as a
things.
question. How often have you been shocked by the ES pumps?
Oh man, like that Ghost Arc, I swear, like, because sometimes you got to test it. So the copper coils that go up, the antennas, like, you want to keep them a certain distance away so you can try to get it to arc up or flash together. You know what I mean? So there were times when I turn it on, like, and forget to turn it off and then touch it, and I'm like, oh, shit.
I make the guys use it when we're on investigations. I ain't getting shocked.
I'm pretty much the one that has it all the time.
Well, also that every time we turn it on, everybody around us, me and Brandon, we're like, screw it, we're gonna use it. Everybody around us is like, it's loud. I can hear
it's not loud. It just hurts my ears.
So that's another thing that because when you actually think about it, on the Ghost Arc 2.0, there's actually 3 different styles of energy, because that high pitch you're hearing is a frequency. Frequency is also a part of energy. So, you know what I mean? You're not, let alone you're putting out, I mean, I don't even know, what is that? Probably, I mean, the human ear compared to like an animal, they can hear like higher, higher frequencies.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're getting up there.
It's kind of like a dog barking at a high frequency. For me, I'm just covering my ears.
Yeah, no, I mean, it does. And there's certain, like, my wife hates it when I'm building because she's like, God dang it, Jesse, what the hell are you doing down there? But to me, it's not as like loud because I'm used to it now. But like, but that is something that helps. Like, I do believe like frequency, especially when you're trying to communicate with something through a spirit box or whatever. I mean, I really believe frequencies they can help in certain ways.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Mike, question for you. Now, you'll notice when you come on an investigation with us, when we pull out this Ghost Arc 2.0, everybody is going to say, Brandon and Marcus, do it.
No, I'll do it.
Yeah, I was about to ask, are you a Brandon and Marcus? Will you team up with us and use the Ghost Arc?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Just,
all right.
I'm not afraid of.
Just make sure that you're.
I've been shocked by actual electric power doing, because I'll change out light fixtures with live power outlets. I mean, I've been zapped.
Oh yeah.
So you see this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't touch those.
What about you, T? Would you use this? Okay.
I want to see if I can get it to actually arc on.
No.
Let's see it. Let's show everybody how it works.
I can see the purple light.
Yeah, you can see it. It's not going all the way up, but
it's just phenomenal. It's phenomenal how you get these pieces of equipment to work. I mean, it must take a lot of time to especially this one. You got electric going here,
Yeah, I mean, and the real thing was trying to figure out the voltage, because it's really touchy, because you go from 9 volts up and it's almost too much power. You go
kills the battery within like 2 uses.
Yeah, so then you go below 6 and it's not enough. So 6 volts was kind of the sweet spot on it. And it took a little bit to figure that out, but
Has anything ever went boom?
I've had a few things that nothing like major, but I mean, I've fried out some boards here and there for sure. Testing with different amperages and volts, and so yeah, I've done that a time or two. Oh shit! Throw it on the ground, stomp it out. You know what I mean?
That's great.
Everybody gets free kisses from the baby tonight. Now, so we've covered the lurker box. We've covered the Ghost Arc 2.0. You have lots more equipment. I mean, you have your basic dowsing rods and all this. Now, let's hit this one. Yes, perfect. I'm glad he asked that one because that's exactly what I was thinking. So we have spirit balls and sorry, neighbor's dog barking. We have spirit balls and you have your little cat balls. They're just a little see-through cat ball with a little button on top. And if it gets moved, it lights up. Now, you've taken the spear ball in a whole new direction and created the orb.
Yeah.
What were you thinking when you made this? Because it's new. Nobody has it. This is a signature piece of DEEZGHOST, and it's very effective during an investigation.
Well, I mean, a lot of it was, I mean, let's get real. The cat balls, they work well. And some of them work well and some of them don't, you know? Like I would order them and then get batches in, and some of them would be more sensitive and some of them wouldn't. And then when the battery went dead, it was pretty much junk after that, you know? So I'm like, well, how can I make something that the kind of the affectability of it can be changed? So you can kind of change the sensitivity of it by moving it. If you'll notice, like when you set it down, if you barely tap it with your finger, like, you know what I mean? If it doesn't go off and that's how you don't want it as sensitive, then you leave it. But if you want it to where a mouse farts on it and it goes off, then you can move it and adjust it that way. And the good thing about it is when the battery goes out in those, literally, I think I got them on the site. I don't know if it's for like $4 or $5 or something for just the piece that goes inside of it.
Oh, you have that available on here?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
I think that's where you see the $5. It goes from $5 to $28, because I think the $5 one is just you can actually pick just the battery light pack that goes in.
Okay, here we go. So you can choose between the orb wicker, the 2-pack orb wicker, the 1 battery sensor, the 1 orb copper, or the 2-pack copper. And you got 3 different options of green, your standard white, and black with blue. So ranges from $5 to $28. And we've expressed this a lot on our show. The equipment you find on DEEZGHOST is super affordable. And you know what makes it even more affordable is check out down below. If you go, if you go to DEEZGHOST and use code MNSH, you get 10% off. That's 10% off already low prices. Imagine what your price is going to be after you use this code. You know, you got a $28 cat ball here, or spirit ball here. Put in the code, you get 10% off that. So it doesn't hurt to go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, the orb is a very efficient and unique piece of ghost hunting equipment. It's never been done before, and it's something to really be proud of because I love it. We used it in a ton of investigations already, and we've got
to go off quite a few times too.
The only thing is you can't do it if it's windy.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's any sensor.
Right. Yep. Even the cat ball, they do that as well. You can't use those in the wind either. But no, I definitely recommend you guys go to DEEZGHOST, check out the cat ball. Or sorry, it's not a cat ball.
Hey, you know, a lot of people call it that. It's completely normal at this point.
Right. Well, just go ahead and check out the orb. Use code MNSH, get 10% off, get a low price, get it done, and have yourself a very efficient and unique piece of ghost hunting equipment. Go ahead and check that out. Now, Kara, what's another piece of your favorite ghost hunting equipment from DEEZGHOST?
Yeah, named them all already that I have.
Oh, did we? I do have a whole list here. I have over 10 items that I like from the website personally. Mike and T, you guys haven't used any of this equipment yet, but so let's just cover a few more of them. We have the Para ears. Now that is a newer piece of equipment, correct?
Yeah. So basically, that one, and it works really well. So that one is based off of like a kind of like a bionic ear, you know, where you have the headphones and you hold the actual it's almost like a satellite disc, and whatever
Mhm.
direction it points in, it can hear whatever is coming off that round bowl. You know what I mean? So the way I designed this one, you'll notice that there's a little microphone speaker at the top. Kind of what that does is if you you can kind of, like, if you set it straight up and down, you're going to get a 360 sound bank of 360 degrees around that. You know what I mean? Instead of being in one direction. And if you lay it on its back, you can put it in any direction you're trying to hear things as well.
Exactly. Now it's so if you guys notice here, I'll head back over there. If you guys notice, here's the top, like Jesse was saying, it's got the microphone type thing at the top, and then you have one on the side here.
That's actually so the one on the side, that's where your headphones will go in.
Okay.
And on the front, that was a dial that I originally designed on there.
Okay.
But now I've got it set to where it's already set, so you don't have to adjust it to where it's going to be clear, you know, because theoretically I'm like, well, really, who's going to want to turn this down, you know, because they're going to want to hear everything anyways.
Absolutely.
But honestly, I mean, it's one of my probably top 3 pieces of equipment that I like to use because, I mean, I can literally hear if you're in a 2,000 square foot house, I can pretty much hear everything that's going on in there. You know, so if you hear a sound or a knock or a whisper, I mean, it's going to pick it up. You're going to hear it. And the one thing that most people don't know is straight from that input, if you put it to a voice recorder and then take it from the voice recorder to your headphones, you can record everything through that.
Oh, wow.
And so whatever it will pick up, it will record it as well on a voice recorder.
Very interesting. And so the Para-Ears is a sound listening device that amplifies the sound around you. Unlike a parabolic mic, Para-Ears amplifies the sound from 360 degrees, so you can point it in one direction or sit it straight and hear 360 degrees around you. And headphones are included with the Para-Ears device. So $125 over at DEEZGHOST.com. Put in code MNSH, get 10% off of that, and have yourself a great deal on this wonderful piece of equipment, which we still need to get ourselves. It's going to be a great
Now,
deal.
I do tell people the headphones that come with it are not like, obviously they're not like Sony headphones. Okay. Yeah. So I always tell people that it's not a headphone that I use on it, but I know that some people maybe don't have headphones to use for it, but like I'll use a pair of like Sony, you know, earmuff headphones. But even if you go to Walmart and buy a $20, $30 pair, they're going to work so much better. You know what I mean? But it works either way. So, I mean, it does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Cool.
It looks like a lovely piece of equipment that we definitely need to try out. Now, let's move on to another piece here before we take our short intermission. Recently, you came out with 2 different pieces of equipment that have never been done before. And the first one is called Wicked Carnival. And this one, let's hear a little bit about it. This one is very interesting.
Yeah, so it's really it's basically a REM pod. It's more of a like the carnival concept. Actually, a customer requested that I make them one, and it's a REM pod that will go off. But it people, they just really liked the whole carnival theme of it. That's really what that one was. So from a REM pod perspective, it's not going to do anything different. It's just a different style of version of a REM pod, pretty much.
Yep. Now, up here, as you expressed in a live before, we have two different things here. Now, what are these up here at the top?
Oh,
We
the
have-
antenna.
Yep.
One's the antenna, and then there's a toggle switch to
Which is
power
right
that
there.
on and off. Yep.
Yep. Okay, and then down here was the REM pod, correct?
Yes. So down there is where the actual part of the REM board had to be able to fit everything in correctly on there.
Mm-hmm. And then down below, didn't you say there was one more thing that you could do with it? Or was it just...
unless it was like a custom thing.
Which it possibly could have been.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago that you did the live, but it's a fantastic piece of equipment.
I've had people want they wanted me to put like a vibration sensor on the bottom part. So then I'd put a vibration sensor in the middle of it, and then that way when they set it down, you know what I mean? If the REM goes off and then the vibration sensor goes off at the same time,
Yeah.
There's a lot of custom things I do for people.
Right. And and the here, let me exit out of here. The Wicked Carnival. This is a 2-in-1 device. The carousel features a motion detection that plays a creepy carousel music when something is detected. Also has the widely popular rim that has LED lights that pulse from the carousel when the rim is triggered.
So the lights on that one come from the inside, like above the horses. So there's 3 LEDs from underneath the top that'll light up from, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Above, and then the motion detector, like that was another custom one that I just offer on the site. So there's a motion sensor on the bottom, and then I'll put a downloaded board like what's on like our tunes boxes.
Yep.
So, and then like some of them will pick like a clown music or a carnival sound, or some people want like an actual song out of it. So
right.
Yep.
And I do believe Minnesota Spirit Hunters got no, it wasn't the Wicked Carnival, but it was the Antique Tunes box.
Oh yeah.
And I believe we had the Freddy Krueger theme on it.
Oh yeah.
Super cool.
Oh yeah.
And
that was
this is before you guys joined the team, Cara and Brendan. So I saw the look of confusion on your face. So, Mike, what do you think? Would you use this piece of equipment?
Oh, absolutely. I like the whole carousel theme with creepy music.
No.
Oh yeah.
Here's a question. I don't know if you've been asked before. Do you think, with it being carousel themed, that it would draw the attention of children?
Oh, it definitely probably could. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
mean,
think, Jesse?
It's a good possibility. I mean, that's kind of where you go back with trigger objects. Like, there's so many different things, and I think when we're looking at a spiritual aspect to that, because theoretically, none of us really know, if a spirit has the memory to remember something or trigger something that, maybe was a prior life, or you know what I mean, that they enjoyed. So, but I mean. Yeah, it's kind of like that one kind of goes in the same sense with the I have a REM lantern that I use that we do as well. And that's a really good trigger object too, because, back in the, 1800s, that's all they had was like lanterns.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of brings, nostalgic.
Cool. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, and you can get your Wicked Carnival at DEEZGHOST for $160. Also, you can use code MNSH for 10% off of that. Now, let's cover another unique piece of equipment that you have, and this one is called the Grave Digger.
Okay, yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about the Grave Digger.
So that one has like a sound. You'll notice there's a speaker on the front of it, down there at the bottom, there'll
Right
be
here?
a speaker. Yep. And so that is designed. You can actually run a spirit box through that, but it's actually designed to hook up like through your phone. You can download like a frequency app, and you can go down to like 20 like your frequency's down as low as 15 or 20, but as high as however high you can hear or not hear the pitch. And that is a form of energy, kind of like the Ghost Arc or the Ghost Arc 2.0.
Yep.
It's doing the same thing, but it's putting out a frequency energy instead of like an EMF.
Okay.
And then you've also got what I call, if you look on there, we also have like it's called a toss box. It's a trigger object sensor.
Okay.
And that's what those wires are with those alligator clips. So you can actually turn like a metal object into a trigger object. So if anything comes close to the metal object, it'll go off. Or if you clip the alligator clips together and then put it in a circle and then put something inside that circle like a bear or hell, it could be this damn lighter right here, and you put it in the middle of it, that is going to be your trigger object.
Wow.
So whatever comes close to that, it'll trigger it and set it off.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think my favorite part about the Gravedigger is the alligator clips. Now, it's never that I've saw. It's never been done before where you can make anything you want into a trigger object.
So there are versions of that. But some of the ones I've seen, it's just one alligator clip, like one line that goes, and it's actually like designed just to go to a metal object. But with this, I give you about probably 3 foot on each side of basically antenna, and you just do whatever you want with it.
Man, that's one piece we need to invest in. For sure.
Yeah, and that's actually that particular piece on the site is called a toss box, and I do sell a lot of those because of that.
Are we talking? One sec, I'm going to get a spec over there. Are we talking about this piece right here?
Well, just the
or this one.
That is the battery sensor, right? That's the battery supply. But the 2 wires that are coming out is what is kind of the trigger object sensors.
Okay. And
with
this
the alligator
is the,
clips.
And this is the toss box.
The toss box. The toss box is that is a product that I have on the site.
Oh, okay.
But like, so that is like a 3-in-1 device. So it has 3 different styles on there.
Oh,
but
okay. There we go. The toss
But that's box. So it's got like lights that are in the inside. So at night, when it goes off, it'll flash from the inside out.
Wow.
And then it's got the wires that go up, and you hook it to something or hook up the alligator clips together, and they
How cool is that? Huh.
Very cool.
Wow. So the toss box is designed to make any object a trigger object. Metal objects simply connect both gator clips to the metal object. Non-metal objects clip gator clips together and form a circle. Place the object in the middle of the circle you've created. You now have an active trigger object for spirits to play with. Tossbox will buzz and light up when something is connected with the trigger object. And you can get that for $85 right here at DEEZGHOST.com. Also, the Gravedigger, we'll go back to that. You can get that for $160 right here at DEEZGHOST.com. And the Gravedigger is an ultrasonic speaker, can be used with a frequency generator app to give off vibration, energy, or a spirit box app. Vibration sensor, trigger object sensor that you can attach the alligator clips to any metal object to make it the sensor, or connect a alligator clip and put it in a circle and place any item in the circle to make it part of the rim. Super interesting. Really nice piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Really nice piece. Now, this one had to take a lot of deep thinking to make, didn't it?
It did because a lot of when you start getting to like ultrasonic sounds and like infrasound and stuff, most people kind of like forget about that. They don't even know it's a thing, but it is a form of energy. It's like a vibrational energy, like a sound energy that's put out.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it can be really effective. It's just it's kind of like I guess Kara was saying with the Ghost Star 2.0, how it gives out like that like infrasonic sound, that really high pitched sound. That's kind of what that does, except you can adjust it with a frequency generator app. You can adjust it low or high.
Okay. Very interesting. Now, Brandon, out of these two pieces of equipment, which one do you like, or what's your thoughts?
Probably the Gravedigger or the Toss Box.
Very interesting pieces. I want to get my hands on one of those for sure. So, all right, guys. Well, we're going to take a small intermission here, and after the intermission, we have a couple more pieces of equipment we want to get a little info on from Jesse. And then we're going to find out what's coming up next for DEEZGHOST.com and Jesse's career in the paranormal in general. So this will take about 3.5 to 4 minutes. So we'll see you guys right back here. Jesse, absolutely a pleasure to talk to you. We'll see you after the intermission.
All right.
welcome back to the show. Just to let everybody know, go ahead and check out Global Ghost Hunt. Amazing stuff over there and everything. And we are back with Jesse Stuart from DEEZGHOST.com. I feel like I'm missing someone here. Is everybody here?
Everyone's here.
Everyone's here. All right. So during the break, I was trying to add one more video on here, which we'll get to in a minute. But Jesse, before the break, we were talking a little bit about some of your equipment. Now let's talk about a couple more pieces.
Sure.
I think we mentioned this already, but we have the DEEZGHOST Tunes music box. Now, some of these, this one is not familiar with a couple of our members here.
Okay. So yeah, the Tunes box. So this was like one of the first prototypes that I use, and I use it to this day. Basically, it's a speaker. It's got a motion sensor. When this motion sensor goes off, when something triggers it, it's going to light up, and then let you know that it's activated. Something's triggered it, and it's going to play a sound or a music through here. So it kind of. And the cool thing about this is, like, you can literally tell me any song or any style of sound that you want in here. And then I download it in here, and then you just, and we offer some different cool colors.
I've got an idea.
Awesome.
Do I?
And this
do the Friday the 13th theme.
Do what?
Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
So this is your DEEZGHOST Tunes box, and it's your coffin shape, which is a very popular piece of equipment shape. Now, this one, like Jesse said, is very unique. You could get it in several colors: black and yellow, black and green, black and red, orange, and black and white. And this is what it looks like. You got your speaker here, and so basically, Jesse, when something comes close to this is going to sound off and let you know something's near it.
Yep. And it's designed to be used in a blackout situation. And that's more of a debunking thing from my part when building it. Because I believe a lot of things can trigger a motion sensor in the daytime. You know, I mean, it could be a reflection off of a window. It could be a dang fly. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that can trigger it. And so when I designed this, it really functions at its highest in literally blackout situations.
Oh, yeah.
Because once it goes off, I mean, something literally has to go in front of it. For it to trigger it, and it's an IR, so it's designed to pick up something like in dark.
Right, and we used this in a couple of our investigations way back, and we put it in like a dark, secluded closet at the Boyd house. Actually, Cara and Brandon, you guys were there. We used it in the blue
playroom in the basement.
That too, yes. And we threw it back in a secluded closet, and it went off here and there. We put it out in the hallway on the second floor, and we were all in separate bedrooms, and we were doing our thing in there, and all of a sudden it goes off when it's alone in the hallway. Nothing else is there. All the other team members are on another floor. And we can hear this from all angles of this floor. So it's the sound carries, and you can hear it from wherever. And it's just a unique thing. Like you said, you can put any song that you want on there, and it's just a very unique thing. I really like this piece of equipment. So
see, I think Hocus Pocus, like the one song, Little Chill, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And by far, this is probably my top seller. Like, this is what I sell.
Wow.
Oh, she's come to say hi.
There she is. Hi. All right.
But yeah, this one, and I never expected it to really take off, but so like this is the mechanical version that you see that everybody makes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. But some of the feedback I got before I started building it was like these mechanical pieces or these pulleys that are over here, once you drop it, I mean,
They break.
that's just a lot of money down the drain, So like, this is a prototype of one I made that I use it, but I also know I'm not going to drop it on purpose, but if I break it, whatever, I'm not worried about it.
Right.
But
exactly.
with us having the version that I make, I think the aspect of being able to put different sounds in it, the fact that it's designed to be used in the dark means a lot, because if it goes off, like you said, in that other room where nobody was at, I mean, the probability of something paranormal or spiritual was there, I mean, is a lot higher than, you know what I mean? Most scenarios. So
absolutely. And you can get this Tunes music box for $100 over at DEEZGHOST.com. The DEEZGHOST Tunes box is a handcrafted coffin box. The music box plays creepy music box sounds. When the motion detector has detected a presence, the DEEZGHOST Tunes box will continue to play for 40 seconds, or as long as presence is detected, or you can reset the box by pressing the on and off button if you don't want to wait. Recommended in low light or blackout investigating. This product will not work correctly in light. So it's got to be dark when you use this box.
yes.
So very unique piece. Now I have one more piece that I want to talk about, and then we'll let our panel here kind of ask away on their questions.
Sure.
One that we haven't hit yet, and a very unique piece, is the Pharaoh box.
Yes.
So
My dogs are going crazy.
Oh,
so
okay.
no, yeah, it's the dogs. But this is actually one that I'm building for somebody right now. So it has a lot of different components inside of it. But basically what it is it is a motion sensor. But the design around it is, I don't know if you guys have seen the octagon shape sensors that are out there in the field. And the problem with those is they have about 4 or 5 different sensors around it. But no matter where you're standing or what you're doing, you're always going to trigger that. Mm-hmm. So with the actual Pharaoh box, like on, let me show you. So this side and this side, you'll have a motion sensor on both sides with lights on the side to let you know if it came from the right or the left side. And so it will actually, the way this is designed, when the motion sensors are put on the sides, they'll actually kind of go at angles as well. But if you're straight on it, like let's say you're video recording, it will not activate it. It won't pick you up. But if you're coming at an angle or directly on each side, it'll pick it up. So if you're trying to film or, catch something live, you can.
Okay.
And I actually had a guy that actually used it for like Sasquatch hunting.
Oh, wow.
So, and he said he had really good reviews with it. So, yep.
Absolutely. And the Pharaoh box is a 3D printed box. It's equipped with a motion sensor and LED light on the left and right side, along with sound buzzers on the front, on and off switch on the back, and takes 3 AAA batteries made to order. And you can get your Pharaoh box for $120 at DEEZGHOST.com. Kind of some unique pictures here. So this is the side, correct?
That's the front.
Okay, so here's the front.
Yep, and the sides you see to the left and the right, those are the sensors, and that's the sensor on the bottom, and the light is on the top.
Okay. And there is a look from all directions. So very unique piece of equipment there. So now we're going to turn it over to our panel here, and you guys feel free to ask away some questions to Jesse. Get to know a little about these ghosts.
You had one, Ren.
Sure.
What is the range on the lurker box?
As far as the REM,
Yeah, for it to be triggered and start flashing.
so anywhere I say anywhere from 3 to 6 inches.
Okay.
But if you like, so some customers will want an antenna that plugs into a auxiliary jack that I put in and wire it in.
Yeah.
And that one, sometimes you can get up to 9 inches of range.
Okay. See, that's what we were wondering about because, in some investigations, we've had it going off when people are like 3 feet away from it, and we wanted to make sure that it wasn't like any of us setting it off.
A REM pod will never go off that far away. No. Because, I mean, it puts a field around that antenna and around pretty much the device, and something has to break it to go through to censor it, to make it go off. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Sounds interesting. And I definitely, for anybody who doesn't have a lurker box, definitely go over to DEEZGHOST and get yourself one. It's very interesting and unique piece of equipment.
Yeah, definitely.
So I will.
Oh, go ahead.
I will show you something that I am working on. I've pretty much got it finished. So you guys have heard of the Estes method, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this little box I call a portal pack. Okay. Mm-hmm. So basically you can hook any spirit box up to it. Mm-hmm. So you get your input and then you get your output. So your input, your spirit box goes straight in, and then your output goes to either headphones or a speaker. Okay. So basically this device allows you to use any auxiliary speaker and any spirit box into a portal.
Wow.
So that will have like your echo and then your volume. Wow. That's adjustable. So the cool thing about this particular piece is for the Estes method, the one thing that people wanted to debunk was with the spirit box, you can only get so much volume. So there is a small chance that you can hear what these people are saying. With this, it is almost impossible. Because when you crank this up, this has got an amplifier on it. So it literally will amplify it up to probably 3 to 4 times what the spirit box has. And you can add echo to it. You can turn the echo off and on if you want it to help you hear what's being coming through. That's what I call a portal pack.
Oops. Hi.
So
well, that was a total accident. So when will the portal pack be available to buyers on DEEZGHOST?
Man, I mean, honestly, I've got people messaging me. I'm making them. I just haven't put it on the site because probably the demand. I don't want to 100% launch it until I have quite a few of them made to be able to keep up with the demand. But yeah, there's people that know about it now that so I'll randomly get messages about them. But yeah, they run. They're about $100, but it works with anything, any spirit box, any auxiliary speaker that you have. Because a lot of people, that's how they are. They want to use their speakers. You know what I mean? And those things, and the fact that you can use this for the Estes method with headphones kind of just ups the ante on it. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that you can adjust the volume and add echo to the Estes method it just kind of enhances it to where the volume adjustment allows you to debunk it, you know, because if you're wearing a blindfold, obviously you can't see anything, but the volume literally turns up so loud that, I mean, it'll hurt your ears. Like that's how loud it goes up. So, I mean, literally, yeah. So that's I'm really excited about that device.
Oh yeah, I am too. That sounds interesting. I kind of want one now.
Yeah,
they're watching poke in the eye.
Do what?
So I'm just watching Raina poke him in the eye.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She's so tired right now. She's doing whatever she can.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, but very interesting. Mike, I know you just met Jesse. Do you have any questions about what we've talked about tonight?
No, I'm very intrigued on everything you've built and have done, and I definitely want to check out your products.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, like I said, if you get time and you're looking for other equipment maybe that I don't carry, I really highly recommend the ghosthunterstore.com. Because not let alone can you purchase my stuff off there, but you can purchase other things from other companies there as well. And it's like, it's just the go-to spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm all about supporting other companies and other, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's and that was the one thing, you know, because I can't offer what everybody else makes. You know what I mean? But that's just another thing, you know. Go check us out, DEEZGHOST.com. But if you're in the works for something else too, don't hesitate to go to the Ghost Hunter store.
Definitely.
Yeah, Dave Giuliano, he's good people.
You know, I don't deserve this abuse. Look at this. I mean,
question.
Yeah.
Have you had good luck with your Steve Huff equipment?
I mean, I have, but I don't see it. Okay, so for me to be honest, I'm not a medium or anything, or as sensitive as other people, and as sensitive as Steve Huff, I guess, claims to be and is. So for me, it works no different than another portal box. But somebody that is maybe more in tune with the spiritual world, I don't know. I can't claim, but I can just only claim. I'm not knocking what he's made by any ways. I mean, all the stuff that's on his box is high-end equipment in it. I mean, he doesn't cut any corners. He doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, I would say if you want to spend that kind of money, it is worth it, because I mean, the quality is better than other companies. I mean, quality-wise, it is one of the best there is.
Yeah.
But to the average investigator, are you going to notice a difference? I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference to a new investigator or somebody that's, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And
especially when you're first starting out, you might not have that kind of money to spend.
Right. You know, when I opened Minnesota Spirit Hunters 2 years ago, we started out with a phone camera, a voice recorder, and maybe one or two pieces of equipment, nothing special. And that's all we had. You know, everybody starts out somewhere, and it doesn't even matter the quality. Some people start out with thousands of dollars worth of equipment. That's because,
you know, yeah, I mean, this is what I kind of tell people, you know, like, obviously you can look at my site and, you know, this is budget equipment that functions almost perfectly similar to a high-end. The only difference is a high-end product is going to be highly machined, smooth. You know what I mean? Like, this is a 3D printed coffin box. You know what I mean? As far as like, it's going to function quality-wise very similar to the other products. But it's also on a budget to help people like get into the field and get using something that maybe they don't want to spend $200 on a circular REM pod that I don't think is worth $200. But you know what I mean? Because to me, I look at it and I'm making all this stuff and I know what goes in it.
It's made,
yeah, and you know, there is like a different quality of boards and products that you can use inside of it. And you know, I'm not going to say that all my stuff is high end, but I mean, it's quality. It's good stuff that works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. And you know, for somebody that's looking for a portal box, I would say buy something cheaper, get to use it first and understand how it functions and what it's used for before you go spending $2,000 on something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't need, like a voice recorder. Take some pictures with your phone. You know what I mean? Always record what you're doing. That's what most stick for, like the REM pods and stuff like that is just to kind of help you. Like for me, when I use a REM pod, if it's not doing nothing in one area, I'm going to move it to another area, because the whole goal of us, like what we call ghost hunting, we're not actually catching ghosts. We're literally just trying to communicate with them. So the purpose of the equipment like that I saw, whether it's a motion sensor or a REM pod or the orb, is to help you say, okay, well, that just went off there. Maybe we need to go there and use the spirit box and pull it out and go there. So, I mean, that's kind of what this equipment's for. Yeah,
right. Exactly. And you got some very unique pieces of equipment, man. We're happy that you're willing to sponsor us so that we can use this equipment to get the results that we do, because we get fantastic results from the DEEZGHOST equipment. So we're happy with everything you've done for Minnesota Spirit Hunters and beyond our team. You've helped so many other teams out there. I mean, it's just phenomenal what you've done for the paranormal field, and that you continue to do every day. So, yeah, I think it's great.
Do you ever even have time to investigate now?
Yeah, no, I still do. I know on the world's largest ghost hunt, we're going to Salem and do an investigation out there, and super excited about that. So yeah, I mean, I go out and I investigate and do it, and I got to test the equipment too. So I mean, kind of goes hand in hand, but maybe not as much as I did before. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to do more, but for sure.
Now, for sure. How do you find time between work, investigating, family, and everything to make your equipment?
It's all about planning.
It is.
I mean, that's the only answer I can give.
He keeps his phone charged.
Pretty much. Straight up.
Shut up.
Straight up.
Oh boy. So what's next for DEEZGHOST.com?
I think a lot of it is I will probably simplify the website as far as like taking things like certain things off, like the like the dowsing rods and stuff like that, because I mean, you can pretty much pick those up anywhere. I've just realized I'm not like a one-stop shop place. People that go to the site go there for certain products.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I mean, we've got a pair of dowsing rods and stuff from DEEZGHOST, but the fact of all your other, like, your equipment even has unique names, like the lurker box. Never saw a piece of equipment with that name before. The the parrot.
Yeah, ears.
This is all new.
Oh yeah, I try to have fun with it for real. Yeah, and just try to find unique things that is not similar to other companies or other what they offer or names that they have for things.
Well, here's the thing, man. DEEZGHOST.com belongs to you. You can do whatever the heck you want to do with it. You can make whatever you want. You can name whatever you want to whatever. You can just have fun with it because this is your company and people love your equipment, man. Like I know almost every single team I know has a piece of DEEZGHOST equipment.
And that's what it is for me. Is it's about enjoying it, having fun. And that's the thing is like, I see these teams and stuff and they go out there and they're so serious all the time about it. But I'm like, what? If you can't investigate and have fun while you're doing it, I mean, there's a time to have fun, obviously, and there's a time to like be serious when it's the right time,
Yeah.
But in the same aspect, like, do you know how many times I've gone on an investigation and some of the best evidence I've got is when you're just BSing with the other members around you and you've caught something on a recorder or on video?
Well, let me tell you this. We just released an episode of ours, but during editing of that episode, every probably 2.5 to 3 minutes, I'm cutting out a scene where we're BSing with each other. Yeah, I can make a hour-long to 2-hour-long episode of just bloopers.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
You gotta
that's
have
the
fun
best
with
part.
it, man. Like
You do.
I'm gonna tell everybody this right now. It's super funny. Greenwood Cemetery that we just released the episode on. We're standing there. We're opening up the investigation. We're getting going, and my car is there. I drove my car there and everything. And yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. My fiance is standing behind the car, opens the trunk and pulls out a thing of melted ice cream on camera. And we're trying to figure out where the ice cream came from. While we're rolling, we're trying to solve the mystery of this melted ice cream.
First thing I would have said is, who's got the straw?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It was warm. It was gross.
Ew. See, I still have the video of her riding in the trunk.
Of who riding in the trunk?
Kendra.
Oh, please send it over. Oh my God. That's great. No, but the thing is, man, I agree with you. You gotta have fun on your investigations. Otherwise, who's gonna want to watch you when you're all serious,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nobody's gonna want to watch.
How do I change Brandon's name to Butterfingers?
That works. So here is a big big question for you. But first of all, T, did you have any questions? I feel like I want to give you the floor if you want. Okay. All right. Well, Jesse, we've talked about some of our favorite pieces of equipment. What's your favorite piece of equipment?
I like right now I'm big into this portal pack that I'm making, only because I'm the kind of guy, like, I'll walk around with headphones on, a spirit box, and I'll just start blurting stuff out as I'm walking, like, because I know it sounds weird, but if you guys are having a conversation, I'm just blurting out whatever I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like that portal pack a lot, is because of that. People use it for the Estes method, but shit, I'm putting headphones on, I'm walking around and just kind of, and to me, that's the most interesting thing. The para ears is probably in my top 3. And then obviously the REM pod, I like the REM pod style. It's like the one piece of equipment that, like, it's never failed me. You know what I mean? Like, the way it works for me is awesome. And REM pods could be an underrated product, but to me, I don't know, mine, they work for me. I get a lot of hits on those things. So that's probably my top 3. Those are probably it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, before we wrap up, do you guys have any more questions for Jesse? If you don't, then Jesse, do you have any questions for us?
The only question I have, so who's the mediums in here?
Right beside you.
Just you? So the only thing I always wonder about the medium is, do you feel like any pressure going into an investigation? Like, do they tell you what has been happening, or do you just kind of go on your feeling?
So, like, they, like, the spirit world are actually my team.
Well, the team, because from me looking from the outside in, it's different, because, like, I try to understand it more, because I don't know a whole lot about, you know what I mean, being sensitive and all that. So, like, when you go into a place, do you want them to tell you some points of history on it, or do you tell them not to say anything?
I tell my team that I don't want to know anything at all. And I've always done that because I feel that it's more real. Even when I go to readings, or if I go to house readings, or to Animal Communicate or whatever, I tell everybody I don't want to know anything, because if I come up with a piece of information, how am I going to, if I already know that, then it's not real to the people
Yeah,
around
people
me.
take it more seriously.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you block that out of like your daily life? Like, because I mean,
No,
I'm
you
just
gotta-
thinking from the outside in. Like, I mean, if I was sensitive to things, like, does that affect you? Like when you go to work or when you know what I mean?
I guess I've just, because I've had it since I was a little girl, I guess I don't know how I do it. It's just, I can just tell them to go away. I mean, they've woke me up at night and said, hey, I need to talk to so-and-so. And I'm like, listen, I'm sleeping here. You can talk to me in the morning. So, I mean, things like that have happened. I just basically talk to them like normal, everyday living beings. It's like, can you just wait until I'm awake or when I'm not busy or anything like that? But I mean, like,
well, if you ever find anybody who wants to talk to me, you hit me up on
There
Facebook
is.
right away.
There is a soldier standing behind you.
No, I don't know. So like me, I'm not like I don't think I'm sensitive anyway, but I know that for some weird reason, I have a tendency to hear voices at times. So like when we're in certain places, like I'm like, "Do you hear that guy?" You know what I mean? They're like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, you know, a couple times I've been video recording, and you can kind of hear a little bit, you know, but other people don't hear it. But like for me, I've talked to a couple like I guess they're mediums or spiritual people, and they tell me that I just need to open up, like be more open to it. And so I don't know. I was just curious.
Yeah, I tend to, I'm not a psychic medium, so I can't tell people what's going to happen. So I hate those people that come up to me and go, so what am I thinking? It's like, I can't do that.
Right.
So I always go off by like the movie The Sixth Sense. I talk to dead people. So
there you go.
But yeah, there's this whole time there's been an older person that served in the military that's around you. So it's kind of like a grandfather type person. So
okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
No, and like I always tell people, like you ever get that feeling like when you walk into somewhere and you feel like your hair's standing up, or you get that like that euphoric feeling that just goes over your whole body.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that interests me too, because there's times like we've walked into places and I've had that like right away.
Yep.
And not even thinking about it, it just happens, you know? So it's like, is there something around at that point or what, you know? So, and it's like, I'm sure you can pick up on that, but probably makes it harder for everybody else. But I don't know. I'm intrigued by it, the whole medium thing, because I don't understand it all the way, but I want to. So
there's a lot of people who ask me a lot of questions. I have a lot of friends who ask me, and I don't mind talking about it because it's like, I want you to understand. If I can help you to understand, I try my best to answer questions. Yeah. So I helped Marcus kind of tune in with his gift a couple times. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I've had it since I was a little girl, so it just comes naturally to me.
See, I think that would be awesome to have. I'd be like, people would think I was crazy. I'd be like, what'd you say?
Well, I do have to tune it out a lot of times. Otherwise, people, I mean, I get this blank stare on my face sometimes while I'm looking at people and they're like, what do you see? And I'm like, just don't even. I'll
be like, I promise I'm not mentally challenged right now. I'm just focusing. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
All right. Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. So at the end of each show, you guys know what happens, but Jesse does not. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know.
All right, so we have one special thing at the end of our show, and that is
question.
Spirited question. So what the spirited question is we pull off some burning questions of people who are curious about the paranormal off of the internet and whatever. So and we ask those to our guests to get a feel of what their idea, what their opinion is. Jesse,
okay, cool.
It's okay. So Jesse, your spirited question tonight is why do you think that animals, pets, can sense paranormal more or better than we can?
Man, so I think it comes down to the sensitivity, whether it's human or animal. I mean, and I don't think like all animals are able to do that as well. You know, it's like
right,
like your medium has a gift that somebody else doesn't have. You know what I mean? And I think it kind of goes the same way as you know, I think the animals are tuned in differently than what we are. You know, they can hear higher frequencies. They can hear things we can't. I mean, think about it, like a cat can see a mouse, like, you know what I mean, all the way at the other end of the house. But would you have caught that? No, you know. So it's like,
right.
I really think animals are just, they're set up a different way than we are, and I think that they are, because I mean, I pay attention. You know, sometimes, you know, my dog will just be standing there barking and there's nothing there. It's like, what? I mean, makes you want to pull out a spirit box right away.
Right, exactly. Every time
I read one time that animals are on like an autistic spectrum, and a lot of autistic people have, you know, they're in tune with so much. And I think that's another reason that animals can pick up on so many different things. Everything that Jesse said, yes. But I also think because they are on that autistic spectrum, they just have the ability to do it. So that's kind of what I think.
Makes sense.
But I am an animal communicator, so
right.
So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, you know, and that's not really a field that I've really went too hard in. I've never really, I wouldn't be opposed to it by any means, but I don't know if I would know the right way to go about it. You know what I mean? To like, if there's a spiritual animal around, I wouldn't know how to try to communicate with it. You know what I mean? Or even however that would work, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, you have been a absolute pleasure to have on the show. Like we've said before, you have some fantastic equipment. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because it's just going to grow and it's going to get better. And we're going to keep getting this equipment because it's definitely beneficial for investigations. So keep doing you, man. You're doing fantastic.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
You're going to have to quit your day job.
Yeah.
I don't know about that yet.
No, it's fantastic, man. Mike, you got an investigation with us coming up here soon. You're going to get to use some of Jesse's equipment. You're going to love it. So it's just, we're on the road to get more. And Jesse, I'll be hitting you up about that, man. But like we said before, you guys can go to DEEZGHOST.com and use code MNSH for 10% off of your order. Go check it out, man, because there's a lot of exciting stuff over there. So, but Jesse, you've been a fantastic guest. I guess we'll catch you next time.
All right, man. You guys have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Later, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Say bye. Say bye.
All right. Well, you guys are a fantastic panel. What do you guys think of Jesse?
Very cool. Actually, I like all that stuff that he makes.
Right?
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's all pretty reasonably priced, so affordable. So.
Yep. And like we said before, go and use our sponsor code and 10% off of these low prices. You can't beat that.
No.
You know? So Absolutely. Brandon, what do you think? Great guy, huh?
Oh yeah, I think it was a really good show. Really good, guy. Easy to talk to. Explains everything really well.
He
Exactly.
did.
Not to mention, he's a really funny dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cara?
Good sense of humor. It was a pretty good show.
Absolutely. And T, what do you think? You kind of got a little in touch with your gift there. I think that was a fantastic addition. No, don't be sorry. That was fantastic.
I think I wish I had his talent.
Right? I think we all do, though. So, yes, absolutely. Well, guys, you've been a fantastic panel. Next week, you guys are going to love it because Minnesota SpiritCast is turning the tables, and we are the guests next week. We are the guests right here next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Minnesota Spirit Hunters are the guests, hosted by special guest host, Paranormal Consultant. You guys know it. Matt is hosting Minnesota SpiritCast next week, and we are the guests. So you'll get to find out a little bit about how the team started, what direction we're thinking about going in, and a lot more. So be sure to catch us there. Be sure to check out DEEZGHOST.com, the P3 program, Global Ghost Hunt, all of the works.
You sound like an ad all the time.
Do I? Oh my God. Is that a good thing?
Sometimes.
Hey, it's branding, man. All right, guys. Well, you guys been a fantastic panel. I will see you guys next week at 7 p.m. next Tuesday night, and that's going to be an interesting show. For one, look who our host is. Imagine what our questions are going to be. So think about that. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining the show. I'll see y'all later.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the show tonight. And having Jesse on here was a fantastic thing. Be sure to go over to DEEZGHOST.com. Check it out. Get yourself some equipment and a lot of other stuff. Check out the P3 program, which we are a part of, and check out the Global Ghost Hunt, which we are also a part of. And you guys ain't going to want to miss anything that happens. So we'll see you guys next week. Next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. with Minnesota Spirit Hunters as the guests. You're going to get to meet almost the entire team. So be sure to come on over and figure out or find out how we started and where we're thinking about going with our team. So until then, hope you guys have a fantastic week and a good night. And we'll see you next time. Happy hunting.
Yeah, we like to keep it positive, you know how we do. Big up to this crew. From day one till it's done, do or die, me and you. Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive, you know how we do. Big up to this crew. Got props non-stop and mad love for you. Rising up like the moon, elevating the mood, uplifting attitudes, cause that's what we choose to do. And I don't know about you, but there's enough negativity going around with plenty room to improve. Yeah, sometimes we collide with stress and negativity. We always let it slide. It's an elevated vibe, so fly. We touch the sky every time we ride. Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. From day one till it's done, do or die, me and you. Big up to this crew. Yeah, we like to keep it positive. You know how we do. Big up to this crew. Got props non-stop and mad love for you. Now roll back time. Tell me what you find. You're gonna see the same sucker MCs on the sidelines. In the fourth quarter when it's do or die time. That's when this crew is inclined to go prime time. From day one straight till it's done. But you all know full well that we only just begun. Yeah. We stick together, one for all for one. When it gets heavy, no, we don't cut and run. Crazy thinking about the places that we've been. Now I could tell you stories that'll make your head spin. But like I said, straight, thick or thin, there's so many memories giving me silly grins. So please allow me to introduce to you my one and only homies, yo, I love this crew. So please allow me to introduce to you my one and only homies, yo, I love this crew. Big up to this crew.
Viewer discretion is advised.